Hello, we're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Debbie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about today's topic because I think we're talking about how to create video for social media.
Yes,
and I know
we
from
are.
the bare conversation we had at the beginning, I am doing the bare minimum to create video, and you run a number of workshops and you do it in your group and you support people to create better videos. So I'm excited to kind of almost sit back and be the student.
Sit back and be the student. But we need your input. It's not a one-man show, is it?
Well, you're not going to be able to shut me up, but I'm here to listen.
How foolish of me to think such a thing.
Silly.
So, okay, so let's go then. So I suppose this is important if you've not created video before. So video, as we know, like in every single like marketing presentation, when we could go to ones in real life, it was always video. It's always been that up and coming thing. It's like, oh yeah, I should be creating video. And I think now, and having the pandemic and everything, I think people are much more used to being on video. We've got used to having much more Zoom calls. But still, it's the number one thing that can really help be transformative to your business, right? Because it helps you connect. People can see what you're like as a real person. You're not just hiding behind some words. You can just be yourself. So video is super important.
I think that's why it scares people, because people are like, I don't know if I want people to see my real self, or I don't, I think people are scared because they want it to be super polished and they don't want to make mistakes and they don't want to kind of, I don't know, stutter or get their words wrong or look silly and all of this stuff. And so I think because one of the things that I lecture on is public speaking. And I think video is probably around in that like fear of public speaking thing, like being visible, standing up, kind of doing stuff live. You can't kind of practice, or you can. But I feel like when people don't put those videos out, they just create more and more videos, but they're never kind of perfect. And I think that fear of public speaking and that fear of going live or doing video, it kind of sits in the same kind of ballpark.
It does.
A lot of people.
So in my video course that I run, and I'll put some links in there if anyone wants to join. I'm talking about video and content creation in my Get Shit Done club for the whole month of August. So feel free if you want to join the group, etc. But one of the first things that I talk about with creating video, in fact, let me just introduce, I am not a video editor. So I have no formal training in video editing. Everything I've learned because I needed it for my business. And that is very, very important. So if you go to someone with preconceived ideas about how to create video, they might say you need this camera and this lens and whatever, because that's how they've been taught. In the same way that if you talk to a designer about Canva, they will laugh at you like, Canva's such a rubbish tool. Real designers don't use Canva. I'm not a real designer. I'm creating content for social, mate, right? So let's just get that clear. So you don't need any of this this fancy stuff to begin. You just need your phone. That's it. Like there we go. Debbie's phone. We need Debbie's phone.
You need my phone.
Any phone in the last 5 years, you can do, and you can use, because like the camera quality on a phone is so good. So don't use your webcam on your computer, because they're always terrible. Even the latest brand new ones you'll buy now, terrible. Use your camera on your phone. So with creating and editing video, one of the things when you're putting the first bits out, you just accept that it's going to be rubbish, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's going to be shit. Yeah. But equally, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching at this point. This is just the start of your journey. It's the baby steps. You've just got to get out there and then begin. Because if you showed me the first video that you did and it was absolutely fucking amazing, it's like, then you've not done enough beforehand, right? As in, what I mean is, you could have started 6 months ago, because if you've got it to that stage that it's so good that I'm blown away by your first video, why didn't you start 6 months ago and put some rubbish stuff out?
Sure. Yeah.
Because every time, I'm not saying put out shit content at all, but I'm just saying like done is better than perfect. Get some stuff out there. Nobody cares. Every time you watch a video, it incrementally improves. We've been doing these videos, these 10 at 10s now for almost a year. I watched back, because I was converting them to podcasts a couple of months ago, like the first ones, and we were so awkward. We were so wooden. It was just like, what are we doing? But it was done and it was out there and it worked. And if we hadn't have put those first ones back out there in September 2020, we wouldn't be here now. So you have to start somewhere. It evolves, it gets better, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I think, getting back to your bit about like, you know, what have I and all that stuff. Well, I do. Like, I'm terrible for it. There are tools you can use to sort all of this stuff out. So we mentioned in last week's a tool called Descript. I highly recommend Descript. I have never found another video editing tool as simple as this. So basically, you upload the video to Descript, and it will run on a Windows or a Mac computer. You upload to Descript, and then what it does, it creates almost like a Word document version of it. So you have your video there, and you have your Descript version, all edited, all in words. So you just edit the words, and it edits the video. And there is a tool in there in the paid version. You can say select filler words. It will select all of your ums, ahs, etc., and just delete them instantly.
Okay, that's pretty good if you are worried about the ums and the ahs, to know there's something out there that can just get rid of them really quickly. Yes,
completely. So these things are, so if you are worried about all of that stuff, then there are tools out there that you can use. And the great thing with Descript, so when I first created my first piece of video content, I sat there with the phone set up in front of me, and it took me all day. It was a 5-minute video that took me 3 hours to record. Because every time I made a mistake, I would stop and I would press stop and then start the whole video again. That is not the most effective way of doing it. So now what I teach in my classes for that content like this is you just put the video, start it running, and if you mess up, you just take a pause and say that sentence again. Because as we mentioned, you can go back to Descript and highlight it and just remove it. Yeah. So that's the way. That's the way to do it. So that's that's the first. That's the second thing, really. You can edit these videos, and then once you've edited those videos, then it's just you're just simply posting up. I mean, one of the things that I would say if you're posting videos is subtitles. Now, you subtitle your videos. How do you go about it, Dudar?
I just on Facebook they just automatically subtitle, and on Instagram they automatically subtitle as well. So I've just checked the box that just says subtitle. So there's no magic alchemy going on there. I just allow that computer software to do it, and sometimes it does get it wrong. And in Facebook, you can go in and you can overwrite and edit the words, although sometimes that's clunky and that doesn't work either, because we know that Facebook is a beast unto itself. But for me, I'm not so worried. I'm a very done, not perfect person. So I don't mind if there's a few mistakes, because it means that I can get stuff out there quickly and then can get on with my client work. But I know that there's lots of tools that I could use to smarten up that process.
Absolutely. I mean, subtitling is very, very important now. I mean, it's like 80-90%, videos just watched with the sound off. If you think about the places you watch, video content, it's like you don't have the sound on most of the time. If something's really interesting, you might then flick the sound on or save it and watch it later. Subtitle is really important. As Debbie says, you can use the auto tools. I personally tend to avoid those unless I absolutely have to, because they always get mine wrong. Always say some weird and wonderful things. We've had examples of like where people have introduced themselves on the video editing course and recorded a video, and it said things like we had one woman who said, "Hello, my name's Helen. I'm a Nazi," and she didn't say that. So you have to be really careful with these things.
Okay, that's bad, isn't it?
It was, but
my business name Debbie Duda. I've had Facebook call me Debbie Dog Hair.
Yeah, but I like that better. Debbie Dog Hair. I'm going to change my
Debbie Dog Hair. So not quite so good.
So you do have to be careful with auto subtitles. So going back to a tool like Descript is, as you're editing that video, you can also tidy up those subtitles as well, because yes, it doesn't get it perfect, but you can edit those words and then you can export. So you have a choice. You can either burn the subtitles into the video. And what I mean by that is a little bit like what we've got underneath the screen here, where it says today we're talking about creating video. That's burned in. You can't remove that. You can't toggle it on and off.
Right.
Whereas what you can also do is download a subtitle file. So if we were going to put this on YouTube, for example, and this was just made a video of one of us talking, I wouldn't recommend burning the subtitles in because it just annoys people. But you can upload the subtitle file and then people can turn them on and off themselves with a little CC button. So that's so if you've got a subtitle file, again, you're not limited to the auto-generated subtitles, and you can do that on Facebook as well. So you can upload a perfect version of it if you aren't like Debbie and don't want to be called Debbie Dog Air.
And YouTube as well. You can also upload the subtitles onto YouTube if you've made a YouTube video.
So that's the editing. I mean, there are other great tools as well. InShot on your phone is a free tool. There is a small fee for the paid version. That's great for quick editing. There's things like Video Leap and stuff if you want to start putting effects on and doing crazy stuff where you're like freeze framing and disappearing, like all the TikTok kind of things. Another really, really good web tool that I can recommend, and I've seen this startup's journey from the very beginning, is called Veed.io. So video. There's a small monthly fee, but that will upload subtitles. You can put progress bars and all that other stuff, and that's fully web-based. So if you're finding that you've got quite an old computer and you're struggling with something like Descript, Veed.io is a fantastic way of doing it because it's all browser-based, so you're not limited to the software on your computer. So
I wanted to just talk about one that's like been around for ages as well, but not everybody uses, which is Boomerang.
Boomerang, yeah.
Boomerang, that app that makes those videos that kind of have that loopy thing going on. I spoke at a conference, God, when we could do such things, ridiculous, so long ago now that I've been out of my house since COVID. And before I spoke, somebody from Facebook spoke, and they told this story about a brand that makes spiralizers, and they created a Facebook ad, and they had a static image of the spiralizer, and they sold no spiralizers. The ad tanked. It was terrible. They just wasted loads of money. So then they just created a really short Boomerang video of the spiralizer in action, and they sold out and had to turn the ad off.
Wow.
So just taking that ad from a static image to just doing a boomerang on their mobile phone was the difference between the ad tanking and selling out. So I just wanted to add that one in there as well, because I think sometimes when people think video, they've got to think editing suites, a lot of time to create that kind of stuff. Actually, with good lighting and your mobile phone and Boomerang, you can create something that's kind of fun and quick, that can be the difference between people scrolling past and stopping and watching. And that's what we're getting at really with video, is it? We want people to pay attention to what we're doing. And we know that all the social media platforms love video. Like there's so many different ways to make video on Instagram. LinkedIn has video now. Facebook has video. Pinterest has video. And so kind of ignoring video, it's not going to be good for your business. So there can be some really kind of quick fire hit ways to just get confident in front of the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just as something that you just pointed out there, lighting's important as well. So just, you don't need really, really high-end professional gear. So my desk before I moved, it used to be just there. You can see by that window. So when I used to do video, it used to really nicely just light up one side of my face, and you have the shadow there. Now it's behind me, so it's a little bit more awkward to light. But all I have now, well, I say all I have, I do have some nice lights, but they weren't that expensive. I've got these. That's just showing purple, as you can see. That's why we'll change the color. So I just have a nice backlight. Let's go for blue now. But I've also got two of those here, one there, one there, that are just on white. So this you can create a little bit of atmosphere. So you don't need anything really, really fancy, or just a ring light, but some sort of light. But if you're in shadow, then your video won't look as polished. And this is just on a webcam as well. You get much better quality, as I said, on your phone. The other thing to bear in mind is audio as well. Now, if you're recording video, just like yourself and like just talking, I just use this very simple tripod. Definitely need a tripod or somewhere to secure your phone if you're at home. But this is like 15 quid off Amazon. It's a selfie stick and a tripod. So when I'm recording videos just for Instagram or whatever, I will sit this in front of me here and just record. I don't even use a mic. But if you're a little bit further away, you can get plug-in mics, like 20 quid. For this, I've got this mic that's connected here. So if you find that your audio quality isn't that good, then get a microphone. So if it's a bit hissy, if you sound a bit distant or echoey, get a mic, because the audio is 50% of your video. And if you're converted to podcasts and things, you need to make sure that it's higher quality. So that's an important tip for you as well. What other things do you want to add, Debbie, before we wrap up our creating video for social?
I think the final thing is just try stuff out, just get doing stuff. Like you said, like I couldn't ride a bicycle very well the first time I rode a bicycle, but now I'm quite proficient at riding a bicycle. So you just got to start somewhere. Just give it a go. Give it a go. Yeah. It's joyful. It's enabling you to build that connection with your customers. And a lot of this stuff that we're talking about is free. You know, everybody has a phone anyway, and a lot of the tools that we've been using, maybe there's a small amount or it's free to get started. So just give it a go, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You do. And there's so many tools. I mean, the other things that just editing tools like Instagram, TikTok, even if you don't want to post those videos on there, they have really, really good editing facilities. You've got all the filters on there as well if you're a bit worried about, you know, whatever. So you can get really, really creative with those, but just then download the videos to your phone. And Instagram now for subtitling, the subtitles are really nice. They just sort of flash and word on there, and it's just a very easy sticker, isn't it? You can add.
Yeah, it's a sticker and then click the caption button.
Exactly. Not everybody has that feature, so I've been told, so if it's not there, just be patient. It will probably arrive soon. And if you don't have it, try Instagram Threads, which is another version, which is just for creating videos for your like your closed group. What do you call it? Like your smaller group of friends that you can post on stories. But you can just use that, set that up, and get there's the different tools in there than there is to main editing. Okay. So that's that. So that's it for creating editing video. If you've got any questions, you know where we are. If you want to join any of the courses, get in touch and I will fire you details over. Dudar, it's been a pleasure yet again seeing you.
See you next week.